quite an accomplishment for me as a person and as a bike racer. It makes me feel good.
When David Zabriskie of Team CSC won the first stage of this year's Tour de France, he did it on a Canadian bike. This is the Cervelo P3 Carbon, the same bike used by Team CSC in the Tour de France. The frame is designed almost like a blade to slice through the wind as cleanly as possible.
About 90% of the power that the rider generates is used to overcome the aerodynamic drag. So what we want to do is we want to, of course, first of all, put the rider in an aerodynamic position. By making the tubes narrow, the frontal area is very small. And then also when you look at the shape of the tubes, it's what we would call a teardrop shape. So the wind has very little problem getting around it. It creates very little drag.
But having an aerodynamic bike is just half of the equation. To win races, riders also need to be as wind resistant as possible. And that means suiting up in some pretty nifty gear.
You want something nice and tight that when you're going to be racing, because you want the air to flow smoothly over your body as well. So having a big baggy windbreaker on isn't going to be aerodynamically very good. So you want a nice tight skin suit. As well, now they're making aerodynamic helmets. You know, the idea being here again is your head's blocking a lot of wind as well. This smooths the flow over your head and kind of releases it smoothly down your back.
Cyclists are of course famous for shaving their legs. But can silky, smooth legs really help in the battle against the wind?
There's a tiny little aerodynamic element of having smooth legs versus hairy ones. Part of it's for massage. It's easier for massage on a smooth leg than a hairy one. And part of it's tradition.
For the Weather Network, I'm Niall McGee in Toronto.